What's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing well. We are back on WUG, trying out United Speedway. This is essentially my third attempt of doing this track. First one I did with the Venom because I was like, why not try with my fastest car? And that was a mess. That was straight up a mess. The car spun out just like that dude Joel over there. That guy was all over the place. What a menace. And the second time I did with my Sesto Elemento, which I guess will be my benchmark for this card I'm using, which is a 827 overall 640. And I gotta say, the 640 has a lot left in the tank because my previous times with the 849 overall Sesto, this thing was peaking pretty close to it, and I still have tons of upgrades to do. So if you want to get this thing to 849, you do gotta put a lot of money into it, and yeah, you can see I got some money. However, I'm not gonna be willing to dump all that money into this thing. So another thing I found out, shout out to Killian, I am cursed with double steering. And what double steering is when the game doesn't really detect your controller input properly. Therefore, when you turn a lot, causing you to lose a lot of speed. And it kind of made sense because the fact that, see, I'm using a new controller, and I actually really thought it was because of the fact that I was using a cheap controller. Like, I'm using a GameSir Nova Lite. So I was just under the impression, like, yeah, I got this thing for like $18. You know, it's gonna be okay. Well, not really okay. It wasn't gonna be great, but okay for my standards. And that was that. Because previously, and I did tell Killian I use a DS4 controller. However, it wasn't an official DS4 controller. It was actually a HoriPad Mini 4, which is, it's an officially licensed accessory, so it would be detected as like a official, what do you call it, like third-party controller, which WUG didn't detect. So actually what I used was DS4 Windows, and used hide or hide, whatever it's called, to essentially cloak the system and thinking it's like a 360 controller, and I had no issues at all with that controller. So that controller probably didn't have those things, because with this one, yeah, I have to steer so hard. For example, if I move the stick a little bit, nothing really happens. So it is what it is. I attempted to go on keyboard at some point in this race, actually already happened, and the car was sliding like crazy. Like, it almost felt like a CGT type of slide, and I was like, absolutely not. I am just gonna stick with this double steering thing because it just drove better, and it's just something I'm just gonna deal with, you know? I do gotta say, this track, do not underestimate this track at all, because, yeah, it's definitely an oval, but it's basically what they say in real life about NASCAR. It's more than just turning left the entire time. The funny thing is, I actually went full throttle, didn't need to use any braking whatsoever. But I haven't concentrated this much in a world race in such a long time. And the last time I did that was when I tried to try hard, like years ago, and that didn't really work out. But this is the first time in a long time where I had to actually concentrate, and this reminds me of NASCAR Thunder 2004, NASCAR 2005 Chase for the Cup, NASCAR 06, 07. It really felt like that, where it was like I had to concentrate so much, because if you ever played those games, you really need to concentrate, especially when your tires start wearing out. This feels like as if my tires are kind of worn out, and I just need to keep up as much speed as possible in order to hold position. And that's basically what's happening, and it kind of, it was low-key a throwback, which, it was a bit exhilarating, and you can't underestimate the AI. The man's in the wire behind me, he was going at it, except he was hitting a terrible line, cutting across the grass. He didn't cut across the grass. He actually might have overtaken me, however, we kept it together. Race results wise is a lot better than the race I did with the Sesto, because the Sesto, I was literally being passed by everyone. And this time, I have no idea. I think the cars are about the same, the AI that I'm racing against, so I have no idea. I was trying to get a multiplayer race onto here, however, it was just... it makes sense. I mean, it's kind of an endurance track, so it makes sense that no one really wants to really race here all the time, because it does take a bit. It is a 10-ish minute race. Shout out to my boy Sum for topping the leaderboards in his Sesto. Hopefully he's still in that top 3 spot when I check the panel next time. Oh, can't hit the walls. It's not good. I'm sliding way too much, which, man, if I had a proper controller, I can probably hold on way better. Because with keyboard, it's kind of the same thing. The car slides out way too much. This is definitely a controller track. If you're a top racer and you do this on keyboard, that's really impressive. Because when I did the race with the Sesto, I was using the controller. However, I was like tap, 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 tap every time. And I was like, nah, man, we cannot do this. Ira is putting pressure on me. But he's taking that horrible line, which means that I can just, you know, not have to worry. And, man, Joel... yeah, that demon is going crazy, man, and not in a good way. Mans could definitely pinball off of someone if there are a bunch of cars nearby. Every lap I was thinking to myself, this time I'm going to lock in and get a faster lap, because the fastest lap I got was the Sesto at a 20.16, which is not really a good time because even the AI goes under 20 seconds per lap, so I'm slacking so hard over there. However, honestly, this is actually my first time driving this car with such a high overall. I only got this one from the treasure hunt achievement. So 1, I'm not used to the car, and 2, it's just this controller. This controller just doesn't inspire confidence. And because of the fact that I'm just not used to it, I only got this thing last week, so getting the hang of things. And who knows, maybe I might just switch back to keyboard and get used to that. And one thing I want to say is, thank you so much for the support on the last video. I'm so shocked how that one got so many views. I know it was a map update, a big deal. However, to get over like what 2,000 views is, and so many likes and so many people commenting, thank you so much. Really appreciate all the support. It's really awesome to see. And I'm so glad that there's a lot of people who are still interested in the game. And because of the fact that that video did well, my tutorial on how to play World went up in views too, which is awesome because that means more people are downloading. And if you want to know why, for example, for a long time, I actually made the game title just Soapbox Race World and didn't put anything Need for Speed World related. However, the reason why I put Need for Speed World back into that title, like how I used to, was so more people can find the video and install the game and play, because I just want more players on this game because it is a great game. It's one of the best it's one of the only MMOs, but it's also, I think, the best MMO racing game you can play at the moment. It's just great. No matter what server you play on, you're gonna have a good time. And man, like, these guys are so much quicker than I was. I'm surprised I stayed in third. Yep. So this is my tune. Car was super duper slidey. Not super duper, but it just wasn't great at all. Anyways, y'all, thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a good one. Peace.